Hey, what's cracking, Beam? Hey, I got a feeling this Stream.Ninja chat might not be suitable for my needs. This is an obvious situation because you need, I mean, I didn't think this through clearly myself, but you do need to have a browser. You need to have these chat rooms open all the time, these tabs. Pop-out chats is what I'm trying to say. You need to have them open all the time, which is fine when you're sitting here at home. But when I go IRL streaming, I need a stream on my phone that I can chat. I need a chat on my phone, and there's no real way to do all that. So with that in mind, I do want to. I'm testing it again today. It's set up. Flowski has sent me some custom style sheets to add to OBS to make it look even nicer, which I will do. And I've got all the windows popped out as you would do right now. So I think it is working. And what I want to do is I want to continue to use it. And then when it comes time to being IRL streaming, we'll just roll with the Beam chat. We'll just go with the Beam one. So let me just test it right now. I've got YouTube open. I'm going to just put a little test chat in the YouTube chat. Yes, just test. Okay, so that worked immediately. And it worked on my big screen chat. It worked on the chat here. It worked on the smaller chat. Yeah, so that worked nicely. Let me just go and grab this custom CSS or custom. No, that would be CCSS. Let me just grab this CSS and let me implement it. Now, what did he say? He said, oh, wow, there's two here. There's one for the browser. Here's some custom CSS. Okay, no, custom cascading style sheet. That is CCSS. It's probably best to put this in the custom CSS box in OBS. Yep. Okay, cool. I'll grab all of that. And then further down, the vertical monitor. Oh, okay, yeah, put this in the CSS on SocialStream in the message styling section. Okay. Yeah, rad. All right, I'm going to add this, dude. And this is well beyond my expertise level. Style sheets. I did learn about them at one point, and I forgot all about them. Okay, let's do this now. I'll just go to my chat scene here. What am I looking for? SocialStream.Ninja chat. Custom CSS. Add that there. Okay. Okay. Oh, it killed it. No, there it is. Ooh, wee. That is exactly what I was hoping for. Dude, that looks way better. We can tell because if you compare it to here, it just looks cleaner. Ah, that looks rad, dude. Thank you so much, Flowski, for that. That's really kind. I'll just do it over here as well. Put it in here. It'll just refresh here. By the way, we're going to watch this Space Bucket, what exactly happened on SpaceX's 7th Starship launch. So we got a chat on screen there, and we got a chat here as well. And we have a little opacity there too. Oh, look, that's nice. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so that's all working. And while we're here, we should also we should also just take this chat off the screen and bring up the Beam stream chat just to see if there's anything there. Okay, so I'll just refresh. I'll just test this and say, this is Beam. So there comes the Beam chat, and I tested the YouTube chat here again. Another test. I'll put this in another test. That's in the YouTube chat. So the Beam stream chat, uni chat, is still not bringing in the YouTube, which is why we implemented that instead. Now, interesting. Okay, so we're not getting the Beam G chat because I haven't popped that out, because if I do, it'll double up, right? I just popped it out now, and if I test it in here and say it's popped, yeah, so then it comes up. However, that's where we're getting the dupes. That's where we're getting the duplicates. Because if I was to chat now in any other platform, it would come through in Beam and it would come through on SocialNinja, and therefore it would come through twice. So what is the workaround there? The workaround is to turn off the UniChat in the Beam backend, and to that event, Theodore did say he could do it for me, switching it off. Now I wouldn't like him to do that, because then it's permanently off, and then we can never come in and check it or verify that it's not working. I guess the simplest thing to do is to not pop out the Beam chat while we're not using it. Not popping that out will cover it. And then, of course, I'll have to keep an eye on the Beam chat as I do keep an eye on, or as I used to keep an eye on the YouTube chat when it wasn't working. Not the best solution, but it will work. Let me just... Oh, wait. Public alerts. There's a new tab here showing everything. Scroll down to the bottom. Public alerts, multi-chat. If I turn multi-chat off... Okay, I just turned that off. Maybe that's been done. Let me just... how to test this would be to test it by testing it in a Kick chat. Anybody watching on Kick? I'll do it. Don't worry. I'll do it. So I did it in Kick. So it came up in Kick, and it didn't come out in the Beam stream. But Beam is still up, so I can still chat over here. Someone can still chat. Someone can still chat here. Yo, Dudsky, how you doing, man? Speaking of Kick, how you doing, man? Someone can still chat here too. So okay, so so Beam have made that update. Now with that in mind, I should grab this chat and pop it. I know you guys cannot see this, but I'll just pop this in my tabbed chats so that they're still all tabbed out. Okay. And just out of curiosity, if someone was to chat in DLive, hello, DLive, it'll come up there and perfect. Okay, so we are good. Oh, there's one other thing that I've got to do. This is another thing. What am I looking for? Where's my mouse to start with? Oh, it's over there. Of course, I put it over there. This is another thing that I need to add to another style, another Flowski custom style sheet. He said this one's for the vertical monitor because I don't like how that's white. He said this one you'll have to put into the custom CSS in the SocialStream in the message styling section. Now I've got the Brave Trouser browser open here. Let me just grab it and bring it up onto this screener. You can't see this, but you will be able to. Let's open up the SocialStream.Ninja. This one you'll have to put into the custom CSS in SocialStream in the message styling section and copy the giant long URL with CSS encoded into it, unless you don't care about the styling on your vertical monitor. And make sure transparent is not in the URL, otherwise you'll get a white background. Okay, cool. In the message styling section, message mechanics, text-to-speech, visibility, styling. Here we go. Slide this down to the custom CSS tab and we'll just copy this. If you want it bigger or smaller overall, just change the root font size 13 on the first line to whatever number you want and everything will scale up nicely. Dude, that's awesome, man. That's really kind of you again, Flowski. I'll send you some more sand. Sounds silly. I'll send you sand. I meant good quality red dirt sand. I'll pop this into the custom style sheet here. Pop that there. Whoops. And then grab the URL skins Did I have to close that down there? I'll just close it down. Oh, there's the URL. Yeah, look at that. Look at the mighty URL you've got there. Copy the link. Go up here to my social stream pop out. Take that link out, paste this link in, and we should have now. Just waiting for it here on the. Oh, there it is. It is still white background, but it's not as white. Now, what did he say there? He said, make sure transparent is not in the URL, otherwise you'll get the white background. So the transparent, does it have? It's hard to see. I'll just check the top. Short link and transparent. Take out transparent. I'll just take out the transparent was in there. I'll just take it out. How will I do this? I'll go up here and I'll just put it in there, because you can see that what it does now, it pops it all out, but you'll see that it still does have the white background. So take out transparent, which was up here. Was that the front? Okay, I've got to just scrub through it all. Do you know what? I'll just put this in a, I'll just use this convert case. I don't know if you guys use this. Just paste it in there and just take out transparent and transparent. Done, taken out. Copy that, pop it back in here. Should take that white out from the background. Yes, perfect. Okay. Yo, Doug, loving the drips on the main purple screen. The drip, you like that, dude? You like that background, huh? A little trick there, or the way I did that. It's nothing too interesting, but all I did was, by the way, this is all done now, and my chat is perfect. Black screen there. How I did that, it's nothing fancy. All I've done is just make a video that loops, and it's playing in the background. It's literally just a video that's running in the background. Pretty straightforward. Oh, hold on a second. It's very Queensland weather. Do you know what? It's interesting. It's very interesting. I saw your comment there, Doug, in Kick, and I'm just trying to wrap my head around how this works. It still did come up in Beam. Oh, that's because I haven't refreshed that trouser, but I refreshed that trouser. Gotcha. The weather is very Queensland weather, is it? Well, we have now entered, for those that are outside of Australia, we are into the last month of our summer. So we have, typically February is the hottest month of the year down here. It's rainy for you, Dougski in Melbourne. Well, that ain't any surprise. Melbourne's always rainy. Yeah, this is typically our hottest month of the year, February, last month of summer. And it's also the month of the year that when I surf, I don't wear a wetsuit. I just go out in boardies. And today, wow, the temperature out there was perfect. The water was like, it's weird. There was no, like, it was just the optimum temperature. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold. It was like body temperature. It was like body temperature, which can't be real because that'd be 37 Celsius. That doesn't make any sense. But it was so pleasant out there. No, Queensland, we had the best weather January to March in Melbourne. Wait. Are you in Queensland right now, Dusky? Are you in Queensland? We had the best weather January to March in Melbourne. You have the best weather in January through to March. But Queensland has the best, very Queensland weather right now is what you were saying. Right. Gotcha. Sorry, I'll be honest. I was kind of just, because this is a new chat and the new call-in screen as well, I'm just kind of getting my head around it all, and just, it's taken a while. I like this how this works. It looks really good. If I was gonna get fussy, Flowski, I don't know if you're still there or if you're watching this replay. If I was gonna get fussy, I'd say this, and it's only a very, very subtle thing. I would say that the channel, it's only on one of them though. No, forget that. Cancel that. I will not even going to say it because it's not even that bad. I just looked at it. the channel names look a little bright, but they're not really. Now, what did you say about lifting the font size? If you want to, you said you said if you want to. Where'd you say this? If you want to make it bigger or smaller overall, just change the root font size 13 pixels on the first line to whatever number you want, and everything will scale up. And I'm assuming that's for both. Yeah, root font size 13. Let me just try that here and try changing the font size. Instead of 13, let's make it a number we can really see. 23. Now that's obviously going to be too large, but we'll just see. 23. And it'll refresh. I kind of like that. That's too large, but I do like that. I do like that. In fact, I think I'm going to leave it that large. Do you reckon that's too large? I reckon that's pretty nice. Shit, compared to... Yo, Doug, I think it's good to how different streaming services are different colors. They're easy to distinguish. When I was looking at the chat, I was thinking the exact same thing, and I just thought that the coloring was just a little too bang, like a little too bright. Like it doesn't... it could be a little bit more pleasant, but I don't think so. Damn, I like that, how that changed it. Let me just change it to 20 and see. 23 might just be a little too big. This is now 20. Let's just see how 20 looks. I'm happy with that. 20 and 23 look good. 20's fine. Damn, that's a good looking chat. Now, if we go back over here, I'll change it here as well. I'll change it to 20 here as well. 20. I think that's going to be fine. Because it's better for those, you know, bad eyesight. Yeah, that's good, man. 21.563 would be spot on. Is that right? Let me check. 21.536. Is that some number that's significant to you? Because I like significant numbers. 563, 21.563. Let me see how that looks. Just kidding. Oh no, well I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it, dude. I'm leaving it at 21.563. It looks good. 21.563. Let's just see. I think that looks fine. Over here though, I could just bring the chat over a little. It's a little uncentered, and that way we could just widen. It's an option click to take that one out. No, command click. No, not command click. Shift click. Oh, that's dragging it. Control click, you idiot. Oops, no, not. What is it? What's the I'll do it this way. Properties. The width is 1920. I'll just do it 1940. This fits in a bit nicer. I'm a perfectionist. Actually, it could even be better than that. Let's go 1980. Yeah, that's better. Damn, dude, it looks really sick. Thank you so much, Flo. I'm really stoked on that. Really stoked. That looks really cool. Happy for that. And everything's working. So all the chats now come in from everywhere, including YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Now, what I'm going to do, we do have tabs to get through. We have, what's this one? The first one we're going to take a look at, the Space Bucket. The new update, what exactly happened on SpaceX's 7th Starship launch. We got another video here, Rocket Lab CEO on new spacecraft, Trump presidency and mission to Venus. And then if we want, we can take a look at Toothboy. That's the plan for the stream today. Yeah, I'm happy for that. And if anybody wants to call in instead, we can do a call in. Yo, Dugsky, I'm holding my phone on an angle so the levels aren't right. The levels aren't right for you? Okay, I can't help you there, man. I can't help you with that. I can show you some surfing from today. First day surfing out there just in board shorts. I'll be right back with a coffee. Yeah. Why did I just do that? I forgot to tell you about this. I needed to get a drill for drilling in tent pegs. Yo, Dugski. Oh, yeah, new fin, by the way, new fin. Or not a new fin, old fin replacement. The boys are going down in an hour to do life-saving training on their longboards. Nice. Any waves out there? So I needed to get a drill for the hex pegs to drill in from never again was I going to be camping using a mallet to push in pegs. Never. I always knew I was going to get a drill. I never knew which drill I was going to get. And I'm really so stoked that I held off on buying one until I just did, which I bought this one. The reason I bought this was because of these batteries. And in particular, this battery or these Ryobi 5 amp hour 18 volt batteries can be used as a power bank with this additional little piece of magic from Amazon. Someone over in the States makes this. Basically, you do what you think you'd do. And that now is a power supply powerful enough to run the Starlink Mini straight out of the guts of its own USB Type-C into Starlink Mini, and you know it's working because this light comes on blue. When that light's on, wait, it's on blue. That means it's powered. Starlink Mini power supplied, which it seems you might say, dude, really? Did you buy that just for that? No, I bought it because I needed a drill for the camping, and I needed to buy a drill. By the way, there's 3 different USB ports here, and you can charge these batteries from this device. So you can plug the USB into the wall and charge it straight. So that's why I bought that's why I bought this drill and this power supply. Now I have power, I have 2 batteries, power to put my tent pegs in correctly, and when I need it, power for the for the Starlink Mini. Before then, I've been using this power bank, which is pretty sick, from Oz Power Banks. You can just ramp up the voltage to 20 volts. That's 12, 15, 20. Yeah, 20 volts. Because the Starlink Mini does require a surge at the commencement. When you fire it up, I think it needs 16 volts. So I've always got this, and I'm still taking it, and that's what I took with me through Uluru. But just having this the ability to mix and match these things together. You got the same one? Have you really, Doug? Yeah. So then you might want to invest in one of these dudes. I think it was about $70 all told, including shipping from the States. And yeah, it just goes straight on. Power it up. You got power there. You got a light on there as well for night if you need it. Just something so sick, like something so rad like that just can give you just a little bit of extra universality, I guess. If that's a freaking word, universality. Let's take a look at Rocket Lab's... No, let's take a look at what exactly happened on SpaceX's 7th Starship launch.
After a lot of upgrades, this afternoon Starship lifted off for the 7th time, and like usual, it was very eventful. Notably, this was the first flight of Starship V2, an upgraded Starship variant that features a larger size, new forward flap positions, avionics, etc. For this reason, the plan was a very busy upper stage flight profile filled with engine relights, the first payload deployment, and then re-entry. Unfortunately, the ship experienced a rud right around engine cutoff. As for the booster, for a second time, it successfully was caught by the chopsticks on the launch tower, which featured upgrades to its hardware and sensors. Here I'll go more in depth into the flight, catch attempt, upper stage rud, and more. Similar to Flight 6, the launch window opened up in the afternoon rather than the morning, which meant the upper stage landing would occur during the daytime, providing much better views. At T-minus 40 seconds, there was an opportunity for a hold, however SpaceX passed right through and the countdown continued. In the final seconds, the water deluge system activated. Seconds later, the first stage Raptor engines ignited and then Starship lifted off. From here, it cleared the launch tower and began
This is all normal, right?
Telemetry provided by SpaceX showed all 33 Raptor engines firing on the booster. A camera angle from the ground also confirmed all the first stage engines were firing. By T+1 minute and 22 seconds, the vehicle had reached max Q, the moment of peak mechanical stress on the rocket. Onboard cameras showed
just while we're here,
down at the launch site and ocean.
Just a quick
While the
pause.
stage was ascending,
I said pause. Yo, I see a viewer on Rumble. Does that mean I'm live on Rumble? I did set up what I thought was the static stream key. So if you're on Rumble, can you just drop a comment? I see the number. I see one viewer on Rumble. I'd just like to know if that is working. Yeah, that'd be handy. I mean, I could check myself, I guess. I don't want to, but I could. I can check by... wait a second. I don't have a Rumble chat open, though. Interesting. Let me go... Let's take pause here. Let me go to Rumble. I'll do this on stream so you guys can follow along, skins. I'll go back over here, but I'll bring in the trouser browser known as Braveskis and go to Rumble Skis. Now, I should be up and running, skis. Let me go to my channel, skis. My content, my channels. Should be live, right? My channel... You don't have any channels yet? Huh? What? I'm not live then? Am I not live on Bumble? On Rumble? That wasn't a gag either. I just forgot, or I just misspoke. No, I'm live. I'm live here right now. I'm live. Other, I just forgot. Yeah, I'm live. So the chat room on the Bumble machine, if I pop this out, then hello, it comes up on the Social Ninja chat straight off the meat of the bat. So let me bring that tab out. I got to add this to my list of tabses. Let me just grab that from there. The chat pop out. I hope that's a static pop out that doesn't dissipate or disappear. I'm going to add this to my list of pop out chatses. Just make that super small. But I think I like Bumble. There you go, Bumble. Bumble comes up, nice. It's the same color as Kick. Did they do that intentionally? All right, so Bumble chat works, Kick chat works, everything works. It's all working perfectly, and the chat looks great. Is the font too large? Now I'm second guessing myself. Do you think that font might be a bit too large? Maybe it's, I don't know. You know what that chat reminds me of? It looks like the Restream chat when you put up an overlay chat on Restream. That's kind of what it looks like. You know? Okay. Silence. Silencio.
You could see a piece of material on the side of the upper stage flapping in the wind. At T plus 2 minutes and 20 seconds, they confirmed they were hearing good callouts on the tower preparedness and manual checks. Soon after, at T plus 2 minutes and 36 seconds, we saw booster Miko, which SpaceX calls most engines cut off. Telemetry then showed all but the center 3 Raptor engines shutting off. Then, while the ship was still attached, it lit its 6 Raptor engines, a part of the hot staging, before soon separating from the first stage. The booster quickly turned and ignited its center ring of engines. This is part of the boost back burn, which is intended to use 13 engines, however the telemetry showed 1 engine wasn't lit. From the onboard ship camera, you could also see the 1 missing engine as the booster began its journey back to the launch site. Despite the 1 missing engine, at T plus 3 minutes and 29 seconds, Mission Control called out, "We are go for booster return." At the same time, the booster's center ring of engines shut off. While all of that was happening, the upper stage was still accelerating as planned with the 6 Raptor engines, 3 sea level and 3 vacuum optimized firing. At T plus 3 minutes and 33 seconds, Mission Control even said, "Ship avionics, power, and telemetry nominal." In other words, at this point in the flight, the ship was healthy and flying as expected. At T plus 3 minutes and 40 seconds, the boost back burn shutdown occurred with the 3 final center engines also shutting off. We then saw the hot stage ring being jettisoned and separating from the top of the booster. At this point, the booster was speeding up and losing altitude as it made its way back toward the launch site. Onboard cameras of the ship at T plus 4 minutes and 50 seconds showed the stage over the Earth with all 6 engines still firing as it gained altitude and speed. At T plus 5 minutes and 4 seconds, Mission Control called out, "Starship trajectory nominal." As the booster got closer to the ground, you could see the grid fins working to orient and control the stage. At T plus 6 minutes and 20 seconds, they switched to a great camera angle directly below the booster, which showed the reentry heating on the bottom of the stage. Then, at T plus 6 minutes and 30 seconds, the landing burn startup occurred, with all 13 Raptor engines firing. Only seconds later, it cut the middle ring of engines off, leaving just the inner 3. The stage then tilted toward the tower before correcting itself and swinging between the 2 chopsticks. The chopsticks closed around the middle of the stage before making contact with the 2 catch points, marking a successful catch.
It doesn't matter.
SpaceX switched to a close-up of the catch pins, and you could actually...
It doesn't matter how often you see that. That is incredible, right? The catching of the chopsticks like that's insanity.
see the stage
Simple question for those that know. Is there someone manning the closing, or is it all automated? Or is there someone there going, "Okay, close them now"?
wobbling within the arms soon after being caught. Switching back to the ship, at this point in the flight, the stage was starting to have some problems. During the previous few minutes, the stage's telemetry was looking good with all 6 Raptor engines still firing. However, at T plus 7 minutes and 39 seconds, you could see one of the sea-level Raptor engines shut off based on the graphic provided. For context, the upper stage engine cutoff wasn't scheduled to happen until around T plus 8 minutes and 53 seconds. The stream then switched to onboard cameras showing the rear flaps of the ship. If you look closely at the right flap hinge, you could see small flames coming from the ship. The camera feed cuts away, but just past T plus 8 minutes, a second sea-level Raptor shuts off in addition to one of the vacuum-optimized engines. At this point, telemetry is still showing 3 engines firing and the speed and altitude climbing. By T plus 8 minutes and 17 seconds, another vacuum Raptor shuts off, followed soon after by the last sea level engine. Finally, the speed telemetry, which up until this point was active throughout the entire flight, stopped.
That little frame glitch.
Engine. Finally, the speed. Another vacuum Raptor shuts off, followed soon after by the last.
That frame glitch. I like it. Let's go back. Is that forward? No, that's back. Oh, that glitch, man. That's art, hey. It's also a unshielded HDMI cable. But that looks cool. That's cool. If you want to get that screen grab that for a background, you could animate that, make it like water droplets and stuff. It looks cool.
By the last sea level engine. Finally, the speed telemetry, which up until this point was active throughout the entire flight.
Sorry, that's what I've got to do. I wanted to do this last time we streamed, and I forgot. My browser
Flight stops updating.
Isn't exactly. I want to fix this. It's just something so something so subtle, but you don't see. Let me just fix it quickly. You don't see my. You don't see the top of my browser. So that's what I want to change. How have I done this? Oh, that's why I've got that behind it, so I can gauge it. That's right. I remember I did that ages ago. Is there a crop on it or something? Okay, don't do that. Properties, crop top. There is a crop on it. 110 skins. Let's just take that down to... Ah, see, now we can see the status bar. That's what I wanted. Who cropped that in? I must have cropped that in one time. Crop top, 27.5. Then we can position it better. Yeah, because then it can go up a bit. Yeah, true. It can go up a little. And that way the chat can get larger as well. Because the chat sits right on there. Yeah, that's better. Now you can see all the tabs. Yeah, cool. Okay, so then when we go full screen, those little bars on the side, they're the actual edge of the monitor. That's cool.
It's believed that at this point, the vehicle likely experienced a rut. At T plus 15 minutes and 28 seconds, one of the SpaceX commentators was quoted saying, "We did lose all communications with the ship. That is essentially telling us that we had an anomaly with that upper stage. We were just coming up to the end of that ascent burn for the ship when we started to lose a couple of the engines, and then we did lose telemetry from the ship. So at this point, we're assuming that the ship has been lost," he said. After the fact, SpaceX confirmed this with a tweet saying, "Starship experienced a rapid unscheduled disassembly during its ascent burn. Teams will continue to review data from today's flight test to better understand root cause. With a test like this, success comes from what we learn, and today's flight will help us improve Starship's reliability." In addition, lots of videos and photos began being posted of the upper stage re-entering the atmosphere in pieces. One video over the Turks and Caicos shows a mass cloud of debris burning up in the sky. The RUD would have broken the vehicle up into many pieces, which then created this large grouping of upper stage debris. In theory, this will have occurred over the ocean, but in the near future, we should hear more about the exact landing location of the debris and what this means.
And if you looked up in the sky and saw that, you would be freaking out. You'd be like, what is going on up there?
For future launches.
Bang.
In regard to how the loss of the ship may have happened and what the future looks like, at the end of the live stream, they were quoted saying, "We were obviously bummed out about ship. It looks like we lost contact with it a little under 8.5 minutes into flight. That's roughly when you get to that main engine cutoff. We obviously need to go through all the data. It's going to take some time in the next hours, days. We're going to figure out exactly what happened. Come back."
Could I trim this in while we're here? No one's watching with me anyway. I'm going to trim in this crop left by, let's just see, 10 pixels. Crop left by 20 pixels. Crop left by 15 pixels. Crop left by 17 pixels. Crop left by 18 pixels. I think that gets rid of that black bar on the right, on the left. Crop right by 18 pixels. Should get rid of it on the right. I think that did get rid of it. Yeah. That fits in much tighter now. That's cool. I'm a perfectionist.
Fly the next one. Reminder, it's a test. It's a flight test. It's an experimental vehicle. So we'll figure out what ended our day today and make sure it doesn't end our day tomorrow, he said. It's important to point out that SpaceX made a lot of changes to the ship going into Flight 7. Before the launch, in a statement, the company was quoted saying, "A block of planned upgrades to the Starship upper stage will debut on this flight test, bringing major improvements to reliability and performance. The vehicle's forward flaps have been reduced in size and shifted toward the vehicle tip and away from the heat shield, significantly reducing their exposure to re-entry heating while simplifying the underlying mechanisms and protective tiling. Redesigns to the propulsion system, including a 25% increase in propellant volume, the vacuum jacketing of feed lines, a new fuel feed line system for the vehicle's Raptor vacuum engines, and an improved propulsion avionics module controlling vehicle valves and reading sensors. All add additional vehicle performance and the ability to fly longer missions. The ship's heat shield will also use the latest generation tiles and include a backup layer to protect from missing or damaged tiles." They go on to say, the vehicle's avionics underwent a complete redesign, adding additional capability and redundancy for increasingly complex missions like propellant transfer and ship return to launch site. Avionics upgrades include a more powerful flight
23
computer,
viewers?
antennas which combine Starlink,
Shit. 23 viewers? Where are they all coming from? Partai, 14 on Partai. Hello, Partai. What's cracking? If you're watching on Party and you're not a bot, say something now in the chat to prove the numbers. You know, there's been conversation about botting on different platforms, and I'm seeing 24 viewers right now. I'm seeing 14 of those coming through Party. I don't see anyone chatting over there. So if it's a party, it's a very quiet one, very quiet, silent party. Come on, start your conversation bars.
NSS and backup RF communication functions into each unit. Redesigned inertial navigation and star tracking sensors, integrated smart batteries and power units that distribute data and power across the ship to 24 high-voltage actuators.
No one's going to speak at all. How about this then? The Earth is flat, huh? Yeah, the Earth is flat. How about that for a conversation starter?
Increased to more than 30 vehicle cameras, giving engineers insight into hardware performance across the vehicle during flight, they said. Based on the success with the ship in the past few test flights, it's likely that one of these new additions to the ship was the culprit, something we should hear more about in the next few days. This afternoon, SpaceX launched Flight 7 and it was very eventful. On the bright side, we watched the successful catch of the booster for a second time. As for the ship, it experienced a RUD right around the engine shutdown period with visible flames and a loss of telemetry. We will have to wait and see how it progresses and the impact it has on the space industry. Thank you very much for watching.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. We've got another video here about space. This is the Rocket Lab CEO on new spacecraft, Trump presidency, and a mission to Venus. Oh, excuse me. We got volume?
Hey everyone, joining me today for a really exciting interview. I cannot wait to talk to this guy.
So stoked on doing this interview, but they couldn't afford a microphone.
Sir Peter Beck. Peter is the founder and CEO of Rocket Lab. Peter, it is really great to have you. Congrats on all the success, and thanks for taking the time today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So let's talk about 2024. What do you...
See an Aussie? My pleasure.
Huge year it was for you and everyone over at Rocket Lab. 16 rocket launches, if I'm not mistaken, a new record for the company. You're on track currently for record quarterly revenue. The stock, for people who follow how it trades, up almost 400% in the last 52 weeks. Peter, that's a lot of enthusiasm. What do you attribute that enthusiasm to?
Yeah, no, well, thanks very much. Look, it's all about execution, right? As you mentioned, execution on launch, but execution across our space systems, and delivering quarter after quarter as we said we would. So
I got to restate, he's not an Australian, he's a Kiwi.
Yeah, look, I think it's down to execution and I also think that there's a bunch of very high-profile space companies in the world, and we just quietly and methodically go about doing our thing. And the delta between those space companies is starting to shrink, and so I think that starts to get recognised over a period of time.
You call yourself an end-to-end space company. First, for people who have heard of Rocket Lab but may not have had time to kind of look under the hood too much, what does that mean, Peter? And how is Rocket Lab positioning itself to be a even increasingly bigger player in the space economy?
Yeah, no, great question. So I think most space companies you can look across and they're either a launch company, they operate a rocket, or they're a satellite company where they have build satellites, or they're an operator where
I've never heard of Rocket Lab before now.
they operate satellites. And I think the thing that makes us unique is that we do all of those things. So, we design and build rockets, we launch them, we design and build satellites, we launch them, and we also operate satellites. So, typically the industry is kind of bifurcated, if you will, trifurcated across those three segments. Well, a customer can come to us and say, actually, I want to do this thing in space, and we can design the satellite, build the satellite, launch the satellite, and operate the satellite. So that's very, very unique in this industry.
So when you talk about a customer, appropriately, you and I are having this conversation today, at least when we're recording. This is inauguration day for Donald Trump's White House down in Washington. I'm sure you may have heard. I believe you've said before, Peter, your customer base is about 50-50, 50% government, 50% commercial. Are you bullish on what the Trump administration means for Rocket Lab? And if so, why?
Yeah, I am actually, because for a couple of reasons. One, there is a clear focus on defence and a clear focus on efficiency, and getting the most out of the taxpayer dollar for the nation. And on those two fronts, these are very important and strong areas for Rocket Lab. We are fully commercial company. We don't do the traditional defence contracting cost plus kind of contracts. For us, if the government wants high value for their taxpayer dollar and return an asset, then that's where our sweet spot is for us in our wheelhouse. So, we think this new administration will be very, very good for us. It'll be good for the space industry. It's very pro space, very pro defence, and these are our two big sectors.
What are the biggest catalysts and the potential landmines for 2025 for Rocket Lab?
Yeah, well, for us, it's really the year of Neutron. So this year, we're trying to get Neutron to the pad and launch successfully. That is consuming, all the resources and all the mind share of everybody in the company right now. So that's probably the biggest project within the company. But in saying that, we have a number of major satellite deliveries for customers as well. The MDA Global Star satellites will be delivered this year. This is a direct-to-mobile constellation, as well as a number of other projects. And we're looking to do new things and grow into new areas. But look, everything is dwarfed by the giant rocket on the pad. That's for sure.
When are you expecting the first launch for Neutron? It's been talked a lot about. Investors want to know. And how much of the success this year and into next year do you think hinges on Neutron compared to Electron or any of your previous launches?
Yeah, well, I mean, the important thing to remember is 2/3 of our revenue actually comes from space systems, and not.
Do these guys do launches like live streams, like SpaceX and stuff, or are they just keeping it quiet?
Not launch itself. Now that starts to change a bit when Neutron comes online, but the business is tremendously underpinned by a lot of the space system stuff. But we're looking to try and fly the Neutron vehicle by the middle of the year, and get that first successful flight, and then the following year we'll do another 3 flights, and then following year another 5. So that's kind of the walking into cadence that we're looking for.
Hey, Dougski, you've probably already gone, but I did see your comment. Interesting that it was a comment on Facebook. Now, does Facebook chat pull into SocialStream.Ninja? Let's have an investigation of that. Well, I'll look through it while we're hearing from these yahoos.
All right, middle of the year, we'll be watching it closely. There was a fascinating headline I saw this morning. This is just this morning, Peter. It's from the Molly Fool. And the headline says, Rocket Lab just might be the first space company to figure out how to compete with SpaceX on price. How'd you do that, Peter?
Well, look, I mean, we've always had to do that from day one. So this is not new news to us. We've always had to compete with SpaceX and others, quite frankly. And we are a fully commercially publicly traded company, so everything is laid bare to to see, and it's just been a standard part of our reality that our two biggest competitors are the two wealthiest people on this planet and have basically essentially infinite capital. So we can never outspend those guys. So we have to we have to find different ways, and typically that's through technology and innovation, and we've been able to compete very strongly to date.
It's not only infinite capital, but there is a presumed kind of coziness between those two business leaders and the incoming president. Again, you and I were having this conversation a short time ago. The inauguration more or less wrapped up on Capitol Hill. Impossible not to notice that Elon Musk of SpaceX is a few feet away from the president, that Jeff Bezos of Blue Origin seated just a few feet away from the president. How do you view those relationships as potential headwinds, if at all, for competitors like Rocket Lab?
Yeah, look, I don't think there can be any funny business there. And those relationships, exist for a number of reasons. But when it comes, to actually executing programs to the best efficiency of the taxpayer's dollar, ultimately that there can't be any funny business there, and we don't expect there to be. So I think for other reasons that might be important, but as far as competitive landscape for us, we don't really think that's an issue.
SpaceX had 138 launches last calendar year, 2024, if I'm not mistaken. We mentioned you've had 16, but that's up significantly from where you were in previous years. The sort of the pattern, the direction Rocket Lab is moving is increasing quite a lot. How do you view the market share of SpaceX or even a Blue Origin relative to where Rocket Lab is today?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple of important things there. Obviously SpaceX have got a well head start on us, and in a lot of respects, create a great bow wave that we tuck in behind, which is awesome. But if we actually look at the data, the first to 50 flights, the speed from 0 to 50 flights, Rocket Lab is actually faster than SpaceX to get there. And we think if we continue on our current cadence with Electron, we'll be first to get to 100 flights. We're certainly tucking in behind a great bow wave, but if you look at the data, we kind of do pretty well. So Neutron is obviously an important element for us, and the ramping of that flight cadence will be super important. But the one thing that is for sure, and the one thing that I don't worry about at night is there enough market share for all of us to go around? Launch is hugely constrained. As new launch vehicles come onto market and come to market along with our own, the availability of customers and solving that launch crisis is something I don't worry about.
Bit of a nerdy space question, if you don't mind. I've got lots of them. I'll try and limit them for the interview.
They're the best. Please, they're the best.
Know. So I want to ask about your launch sites. Correct me if I'm wrong. You got one in New Zealand. That's home for you. And you also got one in Virginia. You got one here in the States, right?
Correct.
Which launches happen where and why? And I know a lot of space fans, they kind of gravitate to the history of Launch Pad 39B.
There's a launch pad in New Zealand. I did not know about that. That's one that we could probably see from here then, once they get up into orbit, right?
Kennedy, obviously SpaceX is doing a lot of their launches there. Any interest in expanding those launch sites, I wonder?
Yeah, well, so, right now we're pretty well served, right? So the New Zealand launch sites are purely for Electron launch vehicles. A Neutron will never launch down in New Zealand. There's just not enough scale down here to be able to, support that. But the New Zealand launch pad, it's very unique in the fact that it's, one of only 2 privately owned launch pads in the world. Obviously, SpaceX has got Boca Chica. We've had, Mahia Peninsula now for many, many years. But it gives us the ability to launch out sun-synchronous and also mid-inclination out of the one site, which is unusual. If you're in the States, if you want to launch sun-synchronous, you have to go out of the West Coast. If you want to go mid-inclination, you have to go out of the East Coast. And, that's been part of the success of the Electron vehicle, is just having that, just unfettered access to launch and launch sites. Then the one in Wallops, it was a big decision point for us. Do we go to the Cape or do we go to Wallops? But, the Cape's a pretty busy place, I'm a little bit impatient. I don't really want to have to get in line and wait for my launch slot. So, going down the road a little bit to Wallops gave us the ability to have, tremendous amount of access to orbit without having to get in line behind the big boys. So that is it's a huge advantage for us down at that launch site. Yep, it's a few degrees inclination less than what you can get out of the Cape, but actually for the majority of flights that really doesn't matter. But it does give us a completely empty launch site to walk onto.
Oh, that is fascinating perspective. As a lot of space fans, you go to these places, Houston, wherever else, Johnson Space Center, and you take in the history and you recognize why these places are important. It's awesome. And you sound like such a fan of the work. And I can tell that from your previous interviews and even as you tell here, right? Like at the end of the day, you just got to be, and I say this with all due respect, you got to be like the biggest space nerd going, right? You got to love this stuff. And it sounds like you and your team really do to be able to compete the way that you have.
Yeah. But there's one thing that trumps that, and that's good business. And I think this is where Rocket Lab has been successful over others, is that the space industry attracts a number of really passionate people. I mean, this is one of the hardest things you can do. So you've got to be incredibly passionate about it. But at the end of the day, for us, business comes first, and we make business decisions over kind of passionate, space geeky decisions every day. And the Wallops Island one was a great example. I mean, I walked around the Cape, and we had the opportunity to inhabit some amazing historic launch pads at the Cape. And yeah, sure, half my brain is like, this is hello ground. This is the most amazing place to ever launch a rocket. Wouldn't it be cool to have a Rocket Lab logo here? But the other half of me is like, well, no, this is not a good business decision, and that half will always win.
Yeah, that is fascinating context for someone in your...
So now he's going to lead into talking about going to Venus as a business decision. Why would there be business on Venus?
Position. So thanks for letting me ask that, because we don't get to hear that perspective of a lot of space fans.
Yo, Netskis. Hello there. How you doing, man? Hello there. Coming in on the kick machine. Good to see you, dude. We're about to catch up with Toothboy in a minute, actually.
The Artemis missions. Now, you've already been involved insofar as the capstone kind of lunar satellite. I wonder what more Rocket Lab might be doing for future Artemis missions, and any concerns about the delay schedule.
Good to hear, man.
That's a big thing.
Look at our lovely chat, man. We got our chat sorted now. Everything's finally looking swish. I was going to say, I think I might lower the font size on the front page here just slightly. I know we faffed around with it before, but I'm looking at it now thinking, it doesn't need to be that large. Let me just drop it down. 21.563 is what it is right now. Let's go to 19.563. I think that's going to be more appropriate. Little bit less of the guts. We'll see. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I probably will change it again later. But I think that looks better. Just a little bit smaller. It was a little bit big, yeah. Just it. I always think about when you're watching it on a phone, how much of that screen real estate does that take up? It takes up that little bit from the corner. That's probably more sized for that, I think. Yeah. And it's pulling in chats from everywhere, so I'm pretty damn psyched. And Flowski provided me some custom CSS to fix this so it fits in beautifully. Better now for sure. Thank you, man. Yeah. Yeah, and it pulls in everything, and it pulls in the avatars, and it looks swish. YouTube's working. Let me just test that. Let me just test YouTube. Hello. I just posted in YouTube chat, and there it is, YouTube. I spelled YouTube wrong. It also works if you chat in the Beam chat. It works up here. It works. Oh, wait. It'll work. It won't work up there. Oh, interesting. I wonder. Let me just test something. Well, no. You just chatted there, so that did work. I was going to say, does it got to be there or there? No. It's got to be there. Let me just do a little test here for, actually, let's get off there. Go back over here. Let me do a little testy test here for Twitch machine. Hello, Twitch. There's a Twitch chat. Yep, swish. Cool. Trovosity. Trovo. I've got some chats in Trovo here. Trovo's not working. No, it is. Trove is working. Netsky's on Beam right there. Swish. Nice. Oh, that was a bot on Trovo. That's why I didn't see that. Okay, interesting. Here comes a party chat. Here we go. That's party. Wait. Here we go. No. Party chat's not working. Am I not live on Party? I am live on Party. Is the Party chat's a different chat each time? Is that a fact? Let me just see. Party chat changes? Yeah, it does, dude. The party chat, that's a bit of a shame. That's a shame. Chat ID 441847. Wait, no, there it is. It worked. Hey, what? Okay, I don't know why that did that. Either way, my chat over here, the little tabs I've got that have to stay out, chat ID 441847. Weird, man. Okay. Very weird. It's working now. I don't know why it wasn't working before. I'll just test that by typing that in the chat. Did that work? No. That's weird, dude. Okay, party's a bit of a strange one. Don't know what to say here. If I refresh that trouser, I shouldn't have bothered with this, getting all technical here. I just refreshed the trouser. Okay, party's a little clunky. Party's a little clunky. Is it because I've got it open there and there? It's in the Brave trouser browser though. I'm going to close the party stream, not the stream, but just that shizzle. I've got it open here. Yes. Weird, dude. I'm not going to worry too much about it, but the pop-out chat's not refreshing. But then when you command R it refreshes. So I'm going to leave the party machine as it is. We'll continue on with I guess they're going to talk about Venus right now. But before we do move on, speaking of numbers, I see 38 viewers. 28 of them are coming from party. Yo, 28 viewers on party right now. 28. If party is legit and it's not full of bots, I'd like to see at least 2 people chatting right now in my chat. At least 2. There's 28 viewers. I've got a maximum of 38 viewers watching. 28 are coming from party. If we're going to prove that party is not botted, at least 2 of those should be chatting. Minimum. Minimum. Will that be a fair number? 2? I think so. And deadly quiet in party. However, it might need a refresh. I might just Command R it and see if anybody chatted. Just curiously, Command R. It should flash on the screen. There it is, flash on the screen. Nobody chatted. Okay. Party is botted. Let's go back to where we were.
For fans who follow the space closely here in the US, it's that we've got now Artemis 2 and Artemis 3. We keep kind of pushing those time horizons a little further and further out. And I wonder what that means for your company, if anything.
Yeah, well, I think it'll be interesting to watch what the new administration wants to do here because the Artemis program, while very successful in actually delivering what it needed to deliver for the first mission, I think there's going to be a little bit of a scratch on the chin and a ponder about, well, are we going to the moon or are we going to Mars? And what does the future of human spaceflight look like to these far off destinations? So it'll be interesting to see. I think that cake's not fully set yet. So it'll be interesting to see what the new administration's view is on Artemis and human spaceflight to these further destinations.
So to that point, Elon Musk, of course, has very famously said the idea of being a multi-planetary species, it's necessary to survive. We want to go to Mars. Do you agree with that? How possible is that? Or are you not too concerned with that type of conversation right now?
Well, look, I think it's good for humanity to put a footprint on Mars. Do I fully subscribe to the Plan B, kind of objective? Not so sure. But I mean, I think it's hugely inspiring, and lots of technology will be created that will benefit everybody down on Earth to put a footprint on Mars. So I think we should absolutely go and do that. But I think there's also a lot to learn throughout a solar system within the space sciences that can have a huge benefit to humanity,
including the first private exploration of Venus. Peter, what a cool mission!
Wow.
What's the goal there? What should people who aren't familiar with those ambitions know about it?
Yeah, well, I think Venus is a little bit of an understudied planet in a lot of respects, and there is a certain altitude within the clouds of Venus where it's kind of.
That's an artist rendition, right? We haven't got footage of Venus yet, surely.
Possible that some kind of life could exist. And our mission is to go and try and sample that cloud, and almost think of it as a go-no-go gauge for life in that region.
Looks like he's wearing a Goldilocks scrubber on his neck.
One,
on his head.
If you look at the scientific evidence we have to date, we have discovered no other life outside Earth. So if you want to be scientific about it, the only statement that we can make today that's true is that we are the only life in the universe.
It's funny when they talk about another planet and they show images of Earth. It's like, what are you showing here? That there might be volcanoes on Venus? Unless you've got the footage of it, just don't show it.
Now, I'm not sure that will be true, but I mean, until we get evidence to prove otherwise, that's kind of a scientific fact. If we could go to somewhere like Venus and actually find some form of life in the atmosphere, I think that says two things. It says, firstly, we are not the only life in the universe, and I think that's profound. But also, if life can live in the clouds of Venus, then it's most likely prolific throughout the universe, which I think is another very profound thing. So, for me personally, trying to answer...
Maybe you never saw a Goldilocks? A Goldilocks scrubber. I don't know what that is, actually. I don't know what a Goldilocks scrubber is, sorry.
Those questions in my lifetime would be a wonderful thing to do.
I don't know how often you get asked this. Do you personally think we're alone in the universe?
No, I think statistically there's most likely other forms of life. Now, are they intelligent or otherwise? Who really knows? But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm an engineer and a scientist, so I have to take the scientific method. And if you follow that approach, then we have, like I say, we have no evidence to prove otherwise right now, and we really need to find that evidence.
Yeah, the observable universe is enormous, and it certainly sounds like Rocket Lab is up to the enormity of those tasks to helping us understand it all a little bit better. I'm really grateful to your time. I've loved this interview. I hope our listeners do too. That's Sir Peter Beck. He's the founder and CEO.
We did enjoy it. Thank you very much for that, Rocket Lab. It's like a wire mesh dishwashing pad. Oh, okay. Let me have a little lookskins. Goldilocks scrubber. Goldilocks scrubber. Goldilocks hair treatments, perms and serums. Goldilocks scrubber. Oh, this steel wool. Right. Yeah, I don't know that brand. I guess that might be a Kiwi thing. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, we have those two. We just call them steel wool. Let's take a little lookskis here at Toothboy. Hello there. Ghost Town Living is the channel. And the video we're about to watch is this one. I mined a bunch of zinc and it explained the real history here. This is from 6 months ago.
This is smithsonite, a mineral that I pulled 700 feet down this abandoned mine shaft behind me. A mineral that is responsible for almost 30 years of history at one of California's most infamous towns, Cerro Gordo. And Cerro Gordo is known as an original Western boom town with a murder per week, $500 million worth of minerals pulled out, and all sorts of legends and lore. But most of the history focuses on the first period of Cerro Gordo's past, a period where they're pulling silver out of this mine shaft behind me. But smithsonite contributed almost 30 years of history here, and it's mostly glossed over, even by me. who's been living up in this town for the past 4 years, trying to understand the history here. And it is very hard to overstate how important this mineral was to Cerro Gordo. So in this video, we're gonna go deep on zinc. I am headed 700 feet down this mine shaft to retrieve some smithsonite. We're gonna refine it all the way down into zinc. We're gonna use zinc like they would have back in the day. And at the end, we're gonna have a much better understanding of not just the history of zinc, but the history of Cerro Gordo in total.
The history of Cerro Gordo in totality.
I've been living up here at Cerro Gordo for over 4 years now, and I would say my favorite part of the entire experience has just been diving into the past here. You know, trying to understand all the things that happened before, how these mines you see behind me transformed this patch of dirt into a Western boom town. And most of the research, most of the books, most of my videos all focuses on the first era of Cerro Gordo. That was the silver and lead era. That was in the 1860s when guys like Mortimer Belshaw, Victor Beaudry, Remy Nadeau transformed this place into the largest silver mine in California. But all of that came to an end in the 1880s, you know, and how then did this mine that had an active life into the 1940s continue for the next 50, 60, 70 years? The answer of that is what we're going to be exploring in this video. The answer is smithsonite, which is a zinc ore that a guy named L.D. Gordon really brought to the forefront around 1910. He transformed this forgotten mine into the largest provider of zinc for the United States. So in this video, we're going to go down, grab some smithsonite, refine some smithsonite, learn about the history of the mine, the history of smithsonite, the history of zinc, L.D. Gordon, a bunch more. Right now we're headed down, so stay tuned as we learn a lot more. All right, we are headed this way to get to the smithsonite. We gotta crawl through some stuff, but shortly we'll be there. I will show you what it looks like, and we're gonna mine some out, get it back to the cage, and refine from there. All right, so you see this smooth rock face. This is a fault. You can see along the fault, some water is seeping in from the surface. And so
it's not your fault.
Here is where you will find smithsonite. That is some great smithsonite. We're not gonna take that out. That is above me, and that could be structural, and that just seems like a bad time. You can see a vein of it following over here. So we're gonna find a little bit easier to access bit of smithsonite. Even behind here, there's this bubbly wall here, all smithsonite. So smithsonite is what's known as a secondary mineral, and secondary minerals exist because
that's the first time I've heard him not do something due to safety. Like he normally just goes ahead and does things. That's the first time he's preemptively said, "Oh, we won't touch that," you know, for safety.
Primary mineral in the rock got exposed to some physical or chemical reaction. And in this case, the primary mineral was probably sphalerite, which is a zinc ore, that got exposed to water, as we can see, and oxygen, and that oxidized the zinc ions. Then we added in some carbon dioxide, which created a carbonic acid, which then combined with the zinc ions to create a precipitate. That then became a secondary mineral known as smithsonite. And depending on what other minerals are in the area, smithsonite can be a bunch of different colors. I have seen white precipitation. I've seen blue. I've even seen photos of things that are pink and orange even. You know, my favorite is when it's this brilliant aqua blue that becomes very rare and then becomes more of a gemstone more than any commercial purpose of zinc. But today, we're probably gonna find a lot of green, maybe some white, and we're gonna take it back up top and then reduce it down and try to get these zinc ions out of this little piece of rock. So you can see here a huge slab of smithsonite, but this would have been structural, so they probably wouldn't want to mess with that. That's even why they shored it up. But behind it, you can kind of see how it looks smooth? Like you can envision how water dripping down and it's depositing the stuff here. You can see some of the brilliant greens and stuff there. But what these guys were looking for is right here. We always described it as dry bone. You can see this still has the bubbling like the smithsonite, but it almost feels and looks like dry bone when you touch it. So this stuff is gonna be the highest grade ore around here. I'm gonna take some of this. You know, it's hard for me not just to focus on the pretty greens that are over on this wall, but you can see up there, that's the dry bone that we're looking for. That supposedly has the highest content of the zinc in it. And so we're gonna take some of this dry bone. I already got a pretty good bag of some beautiful pieces down here. I mean, look at some of these. These are just some crazy greens. You know, I get distracted where I could spend all day down here just getting up pieces like that. Ooh, there is some blue smithsonite.
Was that a clean?
So I may want to actually focus some time.
Hold on.
There is some blue smithsonite. Hello there. Getting up.
Hey Charles, how you doing, man? Hello there. How you going, man?
Pieces like that. Ooh.
Ah, it's got music behind it. Ooh.
Distracted where I could spend all day down here just getting up pieces like that. Ooh.
It's pretty funny though. Ooh. That reminds me of a funny one. I want to grab this one. Give me a second to bring this up. It's pretty funny though. This is going to be from my channel. Gives a minute. Let's go to Gives a Minute. Marty has a funny one when he says no. If you go to my channel, it'll be in a video that's uploaded recently here.
Hello, the internet.
We'll just skip across to in here. Listen to when Marty says no here.
Video of it, then I get in trouble later after the fact. What's up, bro?
They're coming in.
Are you feeling frightened?
No.
No.
I love that. No. He's trying to we're doing the Kiwi thing. Are you feeling frightened? No.
Fact. What's up, bro?
They're coming in.
Are you feeling frightened?
No.
No. No.
I just love the way he said that. No.
Bro.
They're coming in.
Are you feeling frightened?
No.
No.
No. I got to clip that. That's got to be. Let me just do it now. How do I do? I do this on QuickTime, don't I? QuickTime Player, new audio recording. We use the Firefox browser trouser and here, and I'm just doing this on the screen so you can see it. Turn the volume up, record, play.
Later after the fact. What's up, bro?
They're coming in.
Are you feeling frightened?
No.
No. No.
So there might have been double up of audio there, but that's okay. It's just so that we could hear it. And I'll just save that as Marty saying no. And I'll also just grab a little screenshot of Marty's head there for the
I'm just
thumbnail.
going to nud.
Go and do it.
Not allowed to, dude, and I'd make a video of it, then I'd get in trouble later after the fact. What's up, bro?
They're coming in.
Are you feeling frightened?
No.
No. Where's the screenshot? It's going to be there. Got it. Yeah, I like that. No.
There is some blue smithsonite. So I may want to actually focus some time, try to get that out, because that looks stunning. Stunning. Actually focus some time, try to get that out, because that looks stunning.
We need it without video, music.
Dry bone.
All right, I got my bucket of smithsonite, and I know when I get to the top, I am not going to want to crush up a lot of this, because some of it is just really cool. I tried to get some of that bone ash too. So we have the dry bone, we have the more classic smithsonite. You kind of see the bubbles on the surface, indicative of smithsonite. Some really cool greens in there, the layers that they have typically. So just really got some specimen pieces out of here.
Nice.
Goodbye 700 level. Thank you for the 50 pounds of smithsonite. All right, we are back up top with our smithsonite, and it is very hard to overstate how important this mineral was to Cerro Gordo. You know, after the silver and lead era, after the 1880s, everybody thought this mine was done, that it was kaput, that it was tapped out, that people were just wasting their time toiling away up here. And then L.D. Gordon came, you know, and he realized the potential of this town. He saw more than other people were seeing, And he brought a whole other era back to this town that people thought were dead. You know, when he did it, the newspapers just went insane. There was this talk of a splendid future, of big gains, of this new era of prosperity here at Cerro Gordo, because people were excited. You know, they wanted to see this town have another life. And I think that's what connects me so deeply to Gordon's story. You know, I moved up here 4 years ago with the idea that there's more here, there's more story to Cerro Gordo yet, you know, that there's more that people give it credit for. And I think over these past 4 years, you know, people are starting to get excited again, maybe in the same way that they got excited when the zinc era started. And so I feel some connection to maybe the feeling that Gordon had 120 years ago. That could just be me projecting, but that's what I think about. And I think that's why I'm so excited about the Smithsonite. But anyways, let's get back to the Smithsonite and the extraction of the zinc from this rock. So back in Gordon's day, when this Smithsonite made its way out of the mine, it would go way over to Kansas, to the La Harpe Smelting Company. And there, this guy named George Braun had this huge building where he did all sorts of zinc refining. And back then it would have been a blast furnace. So they'd have taken this, they'd have crushed it up, put in some coke or charcoal, heated it up a lot. The zinc would have become a vapor. The vapor would have rised. They would have captured the vapor. It would have gone back down into a liquid zinc, then condensed down further back into a solid metallic zinc. And that was pretty much the way they did it in the early 1900s. It wasn't the most efficient because it wasn't very pure when it got done. So by the mid 1900s, they moved to more of an electrolytic way. So essentially they would do a similar thing to begin. They would crush up the Smithsonite, but instead they would add some type of chemical, you know, maybe ammonia, maybe sulfuric acid, maybe hydrochloric acid, and those things would pull the zinc ions through a chemical process out of it, release some type of gas into the air, and then to recover the zinc, they would use electrolysis. So essentially,
he's looking a little bit like Heisenberg there. It is all of his gear.
They would get something like this in a much bigger form. They would pass negative and positive current through the substance. The negative current would attract the zinc ions. The positive current would release a lot of gas. And at the end, they would scrape off all of the zinc ions, which would become metallic zinc from the negative cathode, and they would have zinc. And when you start going down the rabbit hole of the electrolytic ways to take the zinc out of the Smithsonite, there are a lot of options. A lot has been written recently about ammonia leaching. There's academic papers that I've read. It seems like a very effective way to go about it. There are ways to use sulfuric acid. There are ways to use hydrochloric acid, all of which eventually get you back down to zinc. You know, when I started down this process, I didn't want to do the blast furnace. Zinc vapor is pretty gnarly. It's just something that I don't really want to mess with right now. So this is the method that also produces the most pure and clean zinc. So that's the method that I'm going to focus on. And over the past week or so, I have tried a variety of methods. The first method I tried was ammonia leaching, which is the most documented, and I didn't quite get the concentration right. So I moved on to sulfuric acid, where supposedly you do something called the displacement method, where you create a solution, introduce aluminum, and metallic zinc should just fall to the bottom. And that didn't work. So I tried hydrochloric acid, which promptly ate the steel anode and cathode that I was using and was just a mess. So finally, I got an old graphite mold that I had, because graphite should not react to acid like the steel does. I cut it in half to create my anode and cathode, placed it in the solution, and it worked. I finally started recovering zinc. And once I had perfected the method, I kept moving with the process. So we're gonna revert back to ammonia leaching. This is one of the most tried and true right now. There's all sorts of research reports about it. And we're gonna take just this dry bone, this very flaky white smithsonite that they talk about in the USGS report about being the most strong.
Pretty intriguing. I'm gonna get super cozy here, feet up style. Tooth boy.
All right, so the electrolysis is going. You can see off of the positive, there's some bubbles coming up. The zinc should attach to the negative over here, the cathode, when we get out. So
By the way, just out of curiosity, what he's doing there is basically, funnily enough, what I did as I left high school. I got an apprenticeship as an electroplater, which is exactly what he's doing there. He's actually doing reverse plating. We would do it the other way around, and we would take the zinc from the cathode onto an, or the other way around, from an anode onto a cathode. I can't remember, but anyway, that's what he's doing. Basically, he's doing electroplating, reverse.
Ammonia solution for a while. Then we're going to come back and see what it looks like, and hopefully this side has a lot of the zinc ions attached to it. That's the hope. We'll see. Wow. All right, we are back with the ammonia leaching. And if you look at this negative anode, cathode, you are going to see some zinc depositing down there in the bottom of this. From smithsonite to zinc.
That's got to be clipped. Let me get that. That one.
Depositing down there in the bottom of this.
Yes, yes. We will grab that. Thank you very much, TB. QuickTime Player. Let's grab a... Where did it go? Oh, it's because it's full screen. QuickTime Player, new audio recording. It's over here using the Firefox browser trouser, record skis, and oops, my bad. Didn't do that correct at all. Let's do it again. New audio recording. It's back over here for some reason. Put it in here. Record, back over here.
Depositing down there in the bottom of this. From smithsonite.
Got it. Just check it.
Depositing down there.
Yeah, but it's not. Whatever. It's all good. Ha 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 ha. And we'll just take a screen grab of his lovely head.
The zinc. So the positive side is clean. Nothing on it. All good to go. The negative side, it's got some zinc out here, which we're going to scrape off. Some zinc over here.
What does he plan on doing with this zinc?
And it appears to be a lot of zinc down there. So I'm going to put this back in for a little longer. We're going to see if we can get more of this to take. All right, it has been more.
Going to grab a screenshot of his lovely head there. He looks like he's about to go into an ad for Elements. I've got to go to the bathroom, so here comes my surfing clip from today. All right. Back and replenished. I forgot to fill up my water though. That's all right. Here we go. TB, where were you at? Full screen? You already are full screen.
Electrolysis, I'm going to add it into this, which is a cupel. And the cupel should absorb out some things and it'll leave us with a
Surf
little
look good. Thank you,
bit
Netsky.
of metallic zinc right in the bottom of this thing. I have to be a little bit careful because...
Hey, interesting. That chat didn't come up. Uh-oh. What's going on? That chat didn't come up on my screen, but I see it there in the beam chat. Interesting. Why did that not happen? I'll refresh the trouser here. I don't want to have to be looking at the chat like that though, but that's a shame. It did not come. Your chat comment did not populate here. And it's not there on the refresh. Interesting. All right. SocialStream.Ninja just failed me. Why would that have not worked? I didn't close down that little browser. No, it's still there. You must leave this page open. I see it here. Yeah, you see it there on the beam chat, Netskis, but it's not on my screen, which is weird. Weird, dude. Very, very weird. I'll just test a YouTube one and see if it's the beam chat or if it's the Social Ninja chat. YouTube tester. No, it worked on YouTube, so it's a kick thing. It's a kick thing. At that particular juncture, it's a kick thing. Yeah. There it is now. Interesting. It's a kick thing. Okay, well, whatever. Kick has its ups and downs, willy-nilly.
As we talked about with the blast furnace, the zinc can vaporize pretty easily. So I have to keep it right around its melting point, which is a little bit tough with the furnace that I have. But I'm confident we can do it. And so we're going to put this in there. We're going to talk about a little bit more about the uses of zinc, the history of zinc, and then we're going to turn this into something pretty fun. But for now, this is going in the oven. So fingers crossed.
He's going to burn it. Shit.
While the zinc is smelting away outside, what do we even use zinc for? You know, why is this smithsonite out of the mine valuable? And it turns out that we have been using zinc as a human species for a very long time.
Charles, you having a beverage, are you? Nice. I won't have one today. I got water here, though. Cheerses. Cheerses, eases.
If you look back 2,000 years ago to the ancient Greeks and Romans, they're using zinc to make brass, which happens when you take zinc, you combine copper, you get brass. And they're using that for weaponry, armory, they're using it for decorative purposes, they're using it for coinage, all sorts of different things. You know, 1,000 years ago, there's records of zinc refining happening in India. We fast forward a little bit more into the 18th.
Gee, that's a good sound, isn't it, that pour? That's a home brew being poured, isn't it? Yeah. How long till my brew's ready, by the way? I bottled one a little while ago. When is it brew ready? It's going to be another 2.5 weeks till the brew's ready to drink. Oh, it's going to be nice, though. It's a stout. I brewed a stout. I'm looking forward to that.
Century, we have the Industrial Revolution going on, and suddenly brass, which again is zinc and copper combined, was much more useful. By that point, they learned about galvanization, which is basically when you take iron or steel, coat it with zinc, and suddenly you have this rust barrier between those things, which is a huge, huge development. Brass was being used a lot. By that point, they're even using it for cosmetic reasons. You know, have you ever applied zinc sunblock, things like that? And so in the Cerro Gordo era, you know, when this is being pulled out of this mine shaft in great quantities, galvanization and brass are probably the main purposes.
Oh shit, me! I see 2 viewers on Rumble. If you're watching this stream and you're on Rumble right now, and you're one of those 2 viewers, thank you. Do me a solid and just make a chat comment so that we can verify that you're a real person. We're testing out the waters here, and the Rumble waters need testing as well. I do see the numbers there too. We were testing out Party before, of which there are no viewers on Party right now. Shit, man. Party's gone down. The party's over. I see 3 viewers on Rumble right now. 3 viewers on Rumble, but nobody talking. Interesting. Interesting. You do what you will do on Rumble, and I'll do what I do using Rumble or restreaming to Rumble, but I just wanted to verify that it was all tickety-boo and working over on the Rumble machine. I guess I could check the chat coming through, but I think I'll just hold it out and see if it could be there could be bots over there on the Rumble machine as well, you know? Could be bots, could be bots. I'll just check. I'll just have a squiggle, little twiddle, squiddle. No, this is what a chat would look like, though. This is what it would look like. This is what it would look like if someone was to chat on Rumble. That is what it would look like. Of course, they're not there, are they? They are not there. Bots, my friends, bots. Let's continue on with Toothboy. Now there's 4 viewers on Rumble. 4 bots, eh? Yo, Netsky, I'm not a bot. Thank you, dude. How you doing over there? Gee, you get around, man. Classic. Netsky's over on the Rumble. So I did look into the static stream key to make sure that it does work. And yeah, it seems to be working. Static stream key, static chat pop out as well. There you are. Thank you, man. Classic. Come on, Toothboy. Crank it up.
Of the zinc, you know, at that point they were coating all sorts of things. They're using brass in different objects. They were still using it for things like coins. We actually found a zinc coin up here at Cerro Gordo from back in the day. So stay tuned. You know, as soon as this zinc comes together outside, we're gonna make something really special.
Dude, I see six viewers on Rumble right now. 6 viewers. That's a 7. That's a Rumble record. Shit, that's a Rumble record, folks. 7 viewers on Rumble. And only 1 chatting. 7 viewers. Okay. Okay.
All right, now it is time to start putting some of this zinc to use. You know, we've mined this zinc, we've refined this zinc.
Hey, there's 3 viewers on D-Live as well. D-Live, what are you doing over there, you sleuths? 3 viewers on D-Live. Come on down, and if you're on D-Live, just say hello, skis. I'm just checking out the streams. Yeah, that's cool, Netskis. No worries, man. Over on the Rumble machine. Hello.
Now we got to see why this was valuable back in the day. And we're going to go over 3 of the main uses for zinc. First, I'm going to try some galvanization, some zinc plating, some rust prevention. Next, I'm going to create a little bit of a coinage, you know, some decorative uses that I would have done with zinc. And third, in the health and beauty category, I'm going to create some sunscreen. You know, I got red hair. It's the summer out here in Death Valley.
Red hair.
It's been hot. And we're going to create a little bit of zinc sunblock, you know, to protect myself. We are going to zinc plate a square nail. This is the classic from up here back in the 1800s. This, I'll have the surface area of the zinc to be able to cover. So we're going to do the same process, quickly steel coat this just to show you the idea. And then this step begins with the wire wheel. We're going to brush it off a little bit, get it over in the zinc solution, and hopefully show you zinc plating of this nail. So while this thing's bubbling away, what we're trying to do is create a protective barrier on something that could rust. So steel or iron, we're putting the zinc around so the zinc will repel some of that rust first and protect the metal behind it. And this concept of galvanization has been around for a very long time. You know, even back in the 16th century, there was some armor that they found that showed some signs of trying to galvanize it to protect against rust. But it really kind of hit the mainstream, so to speak, in the early 1800s. And in this case, they were doing hot dipping. So basically getting a molten bucket of zinc and dipping whatever they could into it and taking it out.
Netsky.
And this would produce like a very thick layer.
Thank you, little D-Live gift there. Thank you, man. It comes up nice.
Of zinc on the coating. And as this became more and more popular, eventually they figured out the electrolysis process that we're doing right here. And this provides a more uniform layer. It is thinner. It's also less waste. You know, it's more efficient, but it doesn't give that really thick on bigger pieces. So I might have to revert to that for the pickaxe I was working on. But for right now, we are doing the electrolysis process. And after this, I'm gonna put a wet rag out. We're gonna put the galvanized nail in it and a regular nail, and we'll see overnight, you know, how much protection this provides. But I'm excited to see this, and I'm excited to keep experimenting with all these different uses now that I know that I can go down to the mine and, you know, get zinc whenever I want. All right, so let's check how our galvanized nail is doing. You can tell that the copper I was holding it with, it is fully gray now, meaning the coating is zinc. The zinc ions have been attracted to the nail. I have a control nail, so a nail that I polished without the zinc that we're gonna compare them to. But I'm gonna show you guys this. I'm gonna polish it just a little bit on the wheel, make sure it looks nice and good, but this is what we're looking like. A lot different than we started with. All right, and there they are. Started off like this, polish wheel gets to this, zinc plating gets to that. It looks so cool. I don't know if it's gonna come out very well, but it looks just awesome. And a lot changed during the zinc era of Cerro Gordo. You know, electricity came up here in 1916 for the first time ever. And with that, brought a lot of the machinery that you still see behind me today. You know, Gordon is the one that put in the aerial tramway that's still standing, that was able to take ore from up here.
That's pretty cool.
5.5 miles all the way.
Look, my take on it is a little bit misguided because I hated my apprenticeship. I did that for 3 years in Sydney and then 2.5 additional years in Perth, and I hated it. Actually, no, I didn't do 2. I did about 1.5 years in Perth, and I graduated, or I what do they call it? I became a tradesman. Never, ever, 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 ever touched it since. I have no No desire to go back to that ever again. In fact, getting out of that factory and getting out of that industry was the greatest step I ever did. The best move ever, to get out and to get out and to go into work in hospitality in a restaurant with heaps of cool people and chicks was way better for every part of my life. That factory was just awful.
Down to Keeler where they could process it down there. Gordon put up the bunkhouse.
But sorry, the process, I guess. The process is pretty cool, I suppose. I can't find you on Rumble. I am live on Rumble. I'm live. Gives a minute. I don't know what the search features are like there. I'm pretty certain I'm there. Netskis, you found me over there. It's Gives a minute, yeah? I didn't make a mistake and spell it wrong or something.
That's still staying today. That still houses a lot of people when they come up and volunteer here at Cerro Gordo. He put up the Gordon.
Nevsky, I started off in a factory making polystyrene. Right. So you know what it's like. You get out of school and suddenly you're in a factory with heaps of older dudes and it's just dirty and dusty and long hours and nothing cool about it. No cool radio stations, just horrible experience. They treated me like absolute shit. One of the dudes, my boss, if you like, the area supervisor, he threw a broom at me once. He threw a broom at me. I probably deserved it, but man, imagine throwing a broom at a kid. Imagine throwing a broom at an apprentice these days. You'd get locked up, eh? I found you on Rumble with your normal spelling. Yeah, I don't know, Charles. I don't know how you're searching Rumble, but I'm there. I'm live right now. I can see the numbers. Yeah.
House, the
Thank you,
two-story building
Neskis.
that I still spend a lot of time in. You know, most of these videos are uploaded from the Gordon house. You know, that
By the way, while we're here, this is where SEC Plating. They're still around. This is the business that I spent my. This is where I did my apprenticeship. SEC Plating. Company profile. Specification electroplaters. I wonder who runs it now, because those dudes would be dead, surely. The family business. (105) Lakemba Street, Belmore. I wonder who runs it now. Industry services. Actually, I said there was just dudes, no chicks. There was a chick. There was one girl in the lab, because they tested everything. Once the factory workers had done the work, they went and then checked it for quality and whatever, and they had labs, and there was a girl in the lab that there's stories that they're not stream worthy, or they're not stream safe, but there was there was stories there. I don't remember her name, but we'll just leave that at that. But it doesn't mention who's behind it. Like, it's the Jacob family. I guess it's been bought by somebody, since the Jacobs are all probably passed on now. Company profile. Doris. Was it Doris? No, I don't think it was Doris. I'd remember if it was. I think it started with a K, like Katie or Kathy or Kathleen or something. Yeah, it doesn't tell you. Research and development. Just kidding. I mean, you pull a name out of the hat. It could have been. It wasn't Doris, but it could have been. Wow, it looks modernized. It wasn't that modern when I was there. It was a load of shit. Oh, anyway.
For his wife Cornelia back in the day. And when I read about the man himself, you know, LD, he seemed to be a very hardworking man. You know, Cornelia, his wife, has entries talking about him being down in the mine all day, coming up at 5 p.m., having dinner, and then going back down in the mines in the evening just to oversee what was happening. And so you get the sense of this guy that saw an opportunity here at Cerro Gordo and really wanted to make sure he did everything in his power to see it into fruition. And that's something that I really resonate with. And so I think going through this process helps me connect more to the past and helps me get a glimpse of what brought Gordon up here, both literally and metaphorically to this old mining camp. Throughout this process, whenever you find the zinc, there's always a little bit of white residue left behind. And sometimes there is a lot of white residue that is very fluffy, it's very light, it almost looks like cotton or wool. You can see that the air even blows it around. It's so light and kind of delicate.
That looks rad. So that's what they made zinc cream out of. We used to get like bright yellow and bright green and pink and blue zinc cream when we were kids.
And this is something that they noticed way back in the Middle Ages. And this is something that they used to call philosopher's wool. And philosopher's wool came about because back then there was a lot of alchemists. They're always trying to figure out how to turn base metals into pure gold. And they're always searching for the philosopher's stone, this stone they thought was going to give them immortality and give them the ability to turn anything into gold. And so sometimes these alchemists would get referred to as philosophers. And during some of these alchemy sessions, they would burn zinc, and what would be left behind was just these white billowing clouds that they would collect and call it philosopher's wool. So as again, there it is. And really, what this philosopher's wool is zinc oxide. It's the zinc being introduced to oxygen in the outside.
Hey, Charles, did you find me on Rumble? I see the numbers went up to 5 on Rumble. I'm assuming you found me there?
The zinc is going from a solid state right to a vapor and right back to a solid state without ever being a liquid. And zinc oxide has been used for a very long time in cosmetics. It's used in sunscreens. So now we're going to dive into this and see how we can use this zinc oxide for something here at Cerro Gordo. As you can see, almost pure white powder, and that is our zinc oxide. And this is what we're going to make into our sunscreen. So I crushed up the zinc oxide, and I've got probably about 2 tablespoons or so. And there's tons of recipes for this stuff online, homemade sunscreen, but I'm just gonna work with what I have. I have some cocoa butter, skin lotion, I have some jojoba oil, and usually it's about 2 tablespoons for a quarter of a cup, give or take. You can add some essential
He sounds like he's done this before. When would he have done this before?
oils and stuff.
No, I'm still searching. Oh, wow, interesting. That's weird, dude. Hey, Flowski, how you doing, man? Sounds great. Smear some metal dust on your face. Can I just stop for a little round of applause? Flowski, thank you so much for the custom style sheets. It all looks perfect, man. I changed the font size and I'm psyched. I think I might change it even again, this font size. I'm going to drop it down just a little on this page. The font size, we did 19.563. Doug came in with a pretty strange number. We changed it. I'm going to change it down to 17.563. No problem. Glad it worked for you. Dude, it looks so sick, man. It looks great. Yeah, and we've been testing all the other platforms as well, and they've all been coming through, and we put it over here, and it fits in nicely. Yeah, dude, really wonderful. And I did it on my big screen so that when I'm looking at my chat, it's not blaringly out. It hasn't got a white background. It all looks perfect, man. Like, super psyched. Thank you so much for doing that. I wouldn't have been able to, well, maybe I would have been able to get there eventually, but it would have taken me a long time to get there with faffing around with a style sheet. So thank you for doing it. Yeah, well, interesting. Thank you, Netskis, for giving us that link there for Charles over on Rumble. Don't know why he's having difficulty finding it, but I'm live. I've been live for the whole time over there.
A little bit clumpy, but again, this is just a test. I'm gonna put a little bit on my arm. We're gonna go out and test it out a little bit, but let's see what happens. Throw in a bit of this. Stir that up, see what happens. It's crazy that people understand these things. I believe it was in the late 1800s that somebody learned that zinc oxide could stop ultraviolet light and therefore was good as a sunscreen, which is incredible to me that somebody was able to figure that out.
Fully.
We add in some just other lotion. smells really good. And like that, this rock that was, 700 feet underground is now this sunscreen that will hopefully prevent me from getting burned out in the sun. I'm gonna try a little bit later, but that's cool. There's a lot of uses to it. Who knows? Cerro Gordo custom sunscreen.
By the way,
Sounds like
it's funny, sometimes the chats don't come through, Flowski. Do you notice that when you use Social Ninja? Because I've got my Beamstream chat up there, and I can see that there are comments coming through on Kick, but they're not coming through here. I think it's a Kick. I think it's a Kick thing. If I chatted in the Beam chat right now, I haven't noticed that. Weird. That's lame. But I think it might be Kick. Let me test this. I'm chatting in the Beam chat. Yeah, see, the Beam chat came in immediately, but the Kick ones just didn't come through. If I type in the Kick one now, I'll type here. I think it resets it. No. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. So there's an issue with the Kick chat. That sucks. I don't know what it is, but it's obviously an issue. Yeah, bit of a shame. But it did that a little today while we were streaming. I haven't looked into how to add Facebook chat, but I do stream on Facebook, and it would be good to have that chat pull in. But that seems like to me it would be a changing URL every single time. Yeah, so I'm not gonna bother with Facebook. Might be platform wars, right on. Could be.
But maybe one day. All right, so I got sunscreen. I got galvanized nails. And the final thing we're going to do with this Cerro Gordo zinc is to make a coin. Coins have been using zinc for a very long time. All the way back into ancient Rome, they were using zinc in their coins. A lot of those were made out of brass. But by the 18th century, all sorts of different countries in Europe were making zinc coins because they were resilient, they were cheaper, they were lightweight, and zinc was available. Even here in the United States, starting in, I think, 1982, our pennies were made of zinc, just with a little bit of a copper coating because copper had gotten more expensive. So right here at Cerro Gordo, and in the West in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, zinc was
Rumble's working. Rumble's been working nicely. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? I think it's just Kick that's down. Just any name will do. Yo, that's Charles over on Rumble. Found it. I'm not going to remember that, dude. I am not going to remember that that's Charles. Just any name will do.
For like company tokens, company script. So a bar would make their own coin, or a mining company would make their own coin, like happened here at Cerro Gordo. And so a couple years ago, we found a 12.5-cent Cerro Gordo store coin. I have a whole video about making those out of silver, but originally they would have been made out of zinc. And so today, we're going to take some of this cupelled metallic zinc, and we are going to press our own 12.5-cent coin, maybe like they used to back in the day. And at the end of this, we're going to have some rust-proof nails, some sunscreen, some zinc.
It's also interesting to note that the Rumble logo is a very similar color to the Kick logo. I wonder why they chose that out of all the colors they could have chosen. I guess Rumble was around before Kick, wasn't it?
Coin and a much better understanding of what happened up here, from 1910 to 1940. And
that's your incognito name. Fair enough.
A much better appreciation for Smithsonite too. All right, now that I got my little strip of zinc, we are going to put that in this, which is a punch. We're going to punch out a blank, and then we're going to press it into a Cerro Gordo coin. This is pretty exciting. I don't have a zinc coin, well, other than the original, so let's do it.
See, there's all the Kick chats. Yeah, interesting. The Kick chat's just populated.
All right, we're doing this all by hand. This is a fly press from about 1914 or 1915, basically right during the zinc era. So it only feels appropriate to press this coin with this. What we're gonna do is kind of get this going. Give it a couple good pushes.
old messages.
And there it is.
Wait, that's a Rumble chat, Flowski, old messages, but they're not coming up here. Okay, weird, dude. And I've got my, just so that, Flowski, just so that you know, this is what I've got going. As you know, you've got to have, I've got like a browser here with all the pop-out chats in them. So that's how they're pulling it in. And yeah, I don't know what to say. It's like sometimes it's when you tab onto the tab, it refreshes or something. By the way, overnight or in the last 2 days, Beam added a feature to turn off, what's it exactly called? There is a tab above the chat. I'll point Steve to this point in the replay so he can troubleshoot somehow. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, cool. Thanks for that. Yeah, Beam added this feature where you chat under the chat customization, scroll right down. There's a new, well, it looks new to me. I'm assuming it's new. It says something like messages off, public alerts off, private alerts off. So if you turn messages off, the Beam stream chat will show it, but not in the public chat, not in the popped out chat, which is weird. I see it. Like I see it by looking up in my studio, and then I can pop it out, and therefore SocialNinja sees it. But this is stopping the doubling up, by the way. So before that wasn't there. I don't think it was there because everyone would see the messages. And so therefore, if you had the pop-out chat and you had the SocialNinja pulling in, then you'd get it twice because it would go through, like it was happening to us the other day, like it would come through both of them. So now it's only coming through one, but I still see it in Beam, which is pretty rad. Which is how I spotted that the Kick one wasn't working, because I could see it in the Beam, but it wasn't coming through on Kick. But also, another thing that I said at the beginning of this stream, this SocialStream.Ninja chat, I won't be able to use at all when I'm IRL streaming. Not like I was thinking, I'll be able to have it because I'll just have one open. No, when I go IRL streaming, I just take my phone with a chat. So I don't have a stream up. I mean, I don't have a chat on stream because I don't like putting too much content on the actual page. But what I can do is use the Beam stream chat just to monitor the chat. So are you using the .exe? Hey, made in USA. How you going, man? Or extension version? Well, I don't use a Mac. I don't use a PC, so I'm definitely not using a .exe, but I am using the Chrome extension of SocialStream. Yeah. Are you looking to use it as well? Pretty cool, but there are some caveats. You've got to do certain things to get it to work. And it doesn't always work. And I'm not too sure what to do when it doesn't work. Yeah. I use the .exe and I think it may be a bit more reliable. I mean, yeah, look, there is a Mac version of the standalone app. I just didn't use it because I think when I went to look at it, it said it's actively under development. And I was like, well, if the browser extension is already proven to work, yet the standalone app is still being developed, I didn't want to be that guy that has to go and like debug and test and work out things and blah, blah, blah. So I decided not to use that. But if it works and you're saying that it works better, maybe I should look into it. Is it worth getting it as well and just messing around with it? It might be worth a try. Maybe. I mean, I could easily just use the same setup, right? Flowski, technically you can leave SocialStream and tabs open at home and watch chat on your phone IRL, but maybe a hassle for long trips. Yeah, look, and I typically bring my laptop with me on these road trips, but it's not open for streaming or anything. It's just for my laptop for editing. Yo, Lou Rock over on DLive. Good to see you. How you doing, man? How you doing, Lou Rock? Yeah, so I don't want to. I will not be leaving a laptop. I will, when I go IRL streaming, as a matter of course, I'll be turning everything off here before I go, even if it's just an overnighter. Yeah, understandable. Yeah, just how I do things, Flo. Yeah, bit different. I think running a program as an admin has more system priority than a browser extension. Look. If Flowski, if you reach out to Steve and sort of point him to these glitches and whatnot, and then he has a workaround, sure, I'll keep using the extension, but maybe we can look at the browser, the standalone app as well. Maybe we can. But I'm happy with it. Like, it's pretty rad. But what I've done is I've still obviously kept the ability to turn off that chat and then bring up the Beam chat. So that's the Beam chat. That's both of them. That's the Social Ninja chat. And so when we go IRL streaming, my platform's slightly different, but I'll just turn off the Social Ninja and turn on, and that way I'm turning this back on so that we can just check and see if Beamstream fixes the YouTube not pulling in. Because right now I'm chatting in YouTube like this, and it's not coming in. It's not pulling it in on Beamstream, even though they say that that's a thing that they fixed, but they haven't. But here it is on Social Ninja, right there, like this. Yo, made BT what W? Yo. I made it, by the way. Yo made. It's a typo there, but yeah. So they say that Beam says that it works, but it doesn't. Oh, you're just saying hello to made in the. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking too logically, too legitimately, too logically. That's right.
Our blank. Now it's time to stamp this thing. All right, now that we've got the blank, I have this stamp that was made by my friend Nick Martinelli that's going to stamp it exactly how the coins were back in Cerro Gordo's day. So I'm going to put this in here, line it up, press it once or twice, and we should have a zinc 12.5-cent coin from the Cerro Gordo store.
Current day value 0.
There it is. An official Cerro Gordo coin, good for 12.5 cents at the Cerro Gordo store. Woo! And there we have it. I now have a zinc plated nail, I have some sunscreen, and I have a zinc coin, and just this overwhelming desire to zinc plate everything that I see. The pickaxe head is already back in the solution. I'm not giving up. I can foresee a lot more plating videos in the future. But beyond all that, I just have a much better understanding of Cerro Gordo's history and kind of how I fit into it. It's crazy that it took me this long to really dive into the zinc era, something that I've talked about hundreds of times, and this Smithsonite that I've seen and talked about hundreds of times. But that's how it goes sometimes, you know. If you don't recognize something, you ignore it. It's like almost like when you go through a crowd and there's just all of these faces that you don't pick up any of them, but then as soon as you get to know one of those people, that face stands out in the crowd forever.
Yes.
And I feel like that a little bit with Smithsonite now. When I see it, I'm like, oh, that's the zinc era. It just means so much more to me, you know, and it just feels good. It feels exciting when something becomes relevant to you.
What the hell was going on in the background of his place there? An earthquake?
When I see it, I'm like, oh, that's the zinc era. It just means so much more to me, you know, and it just feels good. It feels exciting when something becomes relevant to you. You know, I'm sure there's some scientific word for that about like cognitive resonance or, you know, intellectual curiosity or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It feels good. And I feel very fortunate to be able to share that experience on this
An elephant.
You know,
Kind of sounded like an elephant, didn't it?
Appreciate you guys sitting through all the experiments I had to do with the zinc to get here. And I hope you guys go out and do some on your own. You know, dive into your local history a little bit more. Find some
we're all gonna start electroplating zinc from a mine that we live at.
And see how deep it'll go. Maybe you'll end up plating a bunch of zinc on something. But if you watch this far, again, just thank you guys so much. I'm actually gonna give away the zinc coin. It's free. There'll be a link below. Enter. I'm gonna send it out to somebody. I love sharing what I learn up here, and I love sharing some of the things I make. So look out for that.
Zinc raising baby elephants.
Until next time, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more relevant.
Wow.
I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit.
Dude, did you see his face then? This might be what Toothboy looks like when he gets angry. Check out his face when he says, I'll pause it. Just watch his facial expression.
Time. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there.
That face looks angry as shit, dude. Look at that. What? He's angry at something there. What he's probably angry at the guy who's making all the noise back there. Wow. It's only a split second, but dude, that's terrifying. He goes from quite a nice looking face, right? Like that's a pleasant smiling guy to this, you don't want to mess with me. Man. Yeah, he doesn't, that's the side of Toothboy we've not seen before. And it only lasted a split second. That's kind of unique, actually.
Till next time, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more relevant.
Wow, wasn't that strange? It's just this like he gets there like a percentage of the way and then he backs back out of it. He's probably going to go, fuck, I'm almost finished here. Shut up back there.
I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more relevance in your local area. But till next time, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more.
Wow, the demon. Yeah, the demon came out for a second, didn't it? That's bizarre.
I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more.
I kind of want to make that into an animated GIF.
I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more.
It's such a subtle, like a small fraction of time, but it says so much. It shows so much. Yeah. Wow. I gotta clip this, dudes. I gotta clip this. Let's get a clip of this so that we can trigger it. I can make it into a oh, that's the wrong thing. I can make it into a trigger where you guys can trigger it. Screen recording. We'll just screen record that. We don't need the audio from it. Are we recording the right screen though? I think so. Let's just see.
I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more relevance in your local area.
So bizarre. It was also, it recorded the right screen. It was also very strange because there's a cymbal wash in the song, and it's timed perfectly when he speaks, and his face changes, and the cymbal wash goes. Shh. Listen to this.
I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit.
Hear that? Are you on YouTube? Yeah. I'm on YouTube.
Time. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more.
It's right there, right on the. I hope you guys get out there. I better make sure that I got the audio from that. Hang on one second. Just give me a sec here. Yeah, I didn't get the audio. Let me do that again. I can timestamp the link, that chat stuff. Yeah, in that case, I'll keep this stream up on YouTube. I often delete these streams because they're neither here nor there, but I'll keep this one up. Are you sure that's a symbol, or is it him inhaling? Oh, that's a good question. Let me just do this again.
I hope you guys have
I want to get it from I hope you guys. So we'll do it again. And I didn't quite go for the audio correct. Audio options audio will be from Firefox. I'm going to just record this one more time because I did it before without audio, and I just want to trigger. I want to get this as an alert for you guys. So I'll make it full screen. Oh no, I'll just play it. I'll make it full screen.
Look out for that. But till next time, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more relevance in your local area.
Dude, that was disturbing. No, that's definitely a symbol wash. It wasn't anything.
That.
Yeah, cool. I recorded it. His face, man. Oh, wow. This guy gives us so much.
Till then.
He gives us so much gold, man. Just the subtlest thing, like a little facial expression.
I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more.
What? How do you explain that? Just this couple of frames of, do it in slow-mo.
Just you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out
there. Quite a nice looking chap there, you know. It's all roses, having a good day. I'm thinking about something. And he looks away. And out comes the demon, dude. For a second. That's fierce. He's seen something. He's looking at something down there and he's like, fuck. So strange. Good catch. Yeah, I don't know how I saw that. It's such a subtle.
Next time, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more relevant.
The symbol wash just makes it. And I think what I think was happening, he was just finishing up quite a lengthy video, and there's obviously someone there who's making a hell of a lot of noise on the same workbench or table or whatever that he's got his camera set up. So he's aware that noise is being picked up, but he's probably like, I can't redo this. It's too good. This is the take, I'm doing it. But I think what happened, and it happens to me, like when you're recording and you're setting up and someone gets in the way or something, you get angry, but you don't address it. But what happened, unfortunately, was that his face gave it away. If only he knew how you pick him apart. I mean, I like the guy, and I reckon we could have a good chat together. You could add flaming eyes in post. Nah, you don't need to. It's gold as it is.
I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more.
I'd like to ask him if he added that symbol wash in though. Let me go back a fair way and just hear the song. Turn off my AC in case that's making it harder for me.
That about like cognitive resonance or intellectual curiosity or whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
No, so there was a symbol wash there. So the song that he's playing, it's just coincidentally the most perfect symbol wash timing in the history of 4 frames of YouTube. Check it out.
Good. It feels exciting when something becomes relevant.
And he paused when that person took the elephant out for a walk, right? We said it was an elephant. So he's like, stop moving the elephant around. I'm busy.
This feels good. It feels exciting when something becomes relevant to you. I'm sure there's some scientific word for that about like cognitive resonance or intellectual curiosity or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Symbol it feels good, and I feel very fortunate to be able to share that experience on this channel. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys sitting through all the experiments I had to do with the zinc to get here. And I hope you guys go out and do some on your own. Dive into your local history a little bit more. Find some rabbit hole and see how deep it'll go. Maybe you'll end up plating a bunch of zinc on something. But if you watch this far, again, just thank you guys so much. I'm actually gonna give away the zinc coin. It's free, there'll be a link below. Enter, I'm gonna send it out to somebody. I love sharing what I learn up here, and I love sharing some of the things I make, so look out for that. But until next time, I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys get out there, find a little bit more relevance in your local area. And until then, have a great week. And I'll see you guys next time.
It shouldn't be that funny, but it is. I don't know. It's actually not that funny, but there's just something about his expression. He's normally very expressive anyway, and for it to go from so pleasant to so momentarily, who said it? Demon. The demon just came up, right? And just that symbol wash at the same time, it just all adds up. Intellectual curiosity. Is that what he was saying? He said cognitive, the opposite of cognitive dissonance. So when you're actually aware of it, you're not dissonant. I don't know what that word is either, but I mean, I love this guy's given us gold, and we should be very thankful for what he gives us, because there's so much. If you go and type in !shop in my Kick chat, you'll bring up the whole. We got a bunch of different drops from Toothboy, as we call him, and I'm gonna add that one to it for sure. But I'm gonna make that full screen so that it comes up as the little clip. Yeah, I should keep the audio with that one too, right? And I might enhance the symbol wash just so it's a little bit more obvious. Well, yeah, that's the plan anyway.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.